Hey everybody, John Victorino here with Beacon SEO, and I just wanted to share something with you today. So I was just recently invited by the Escondido Chamber of Commerce to be a panelist to speak about how businesses can shift their sales online. And I thought it'd be really valuable to go ahead and share that with you as well. And it really came down to three things. So no matter what you sell or how you sell it, whether it's in person, online, whether you're selling 1-to-1 or 1-to-1,000, it really doesn't matter. It all breaks down into three things. So number one, you need to have a product. So if you are in business, you're a business owner, most likely you know what your product is already or what your service is that you're offering. So that may be taken care of. If you don't, whatever you're good at that you can sell, that could be your product, right? So that's number one. You need to have a product. Number two is you need to have a sales process. So for those of you that are into sales, one thing that is really important is being able to have that interaction with the prospect, right? So if I'm having a sales conversation with a prospect and we're talking about digital marketing, I can tell them, hey, these are the ways that it can benefit your business. I can answer any questions he has. I can go through any objections he has to see if we can get around it. And that's something that we can do interactively. Now, if you are selling on a web page, you don't really have that luxury, right? And on top of that, you also need to be able to develop a relationship. And you need to be able to do that on your website. So a couple of things to help with that is, number one, you can have a video of yourself kind of talking on that web page, the sales page, right? And that lets you do, one, develop a relationship with that person that's on your website, and number two, it allows you to it allows the person to put a face to the name, a face to the brand, right? So those are a couple of things that you get out of putting videos on your website. And then the other thing that you need to be aware of with your sales process on a website is you need to be really conscious of everything that happens in your sales process. So what I mean by that is, if you've had a lot of if you've done a lot of sales before, you need to understand, okay, what are the questions that my prospects are typically asking? What are the objections that they typically have? And you need to be able to answer that in the sales message on the page directly. Because they may contact you if they have any additional questions, they may not. And being able to answer all those different things on the website is going to be really important as far as creating that sale online. So just to recap, number one, you need to have a product or service. Number two, you need to have a sales process. And number three, for being able to shift your business sales online, is you need to have traffic, right? So if you have a beautiful website, you have these amazing images, you have this amazing video, it really doesn't matter if you can't get people on your website, right? If you can't get eyeballs on it, you may as well just not spend money on your website, right? So this piece is going to be really important because you need to, again, just drive traffic to your offer, right? To your product, and have people there that are wanting to buy it. So there are really a couple of different avenues to do that. My favorite is Google. So Google traffic is really important for a lot of different types of traffic, just because if, for example, my sink is busted, right? If I'm looking for a plumber on Google, I need a plumber. I need a plumber that I can work with. So that plumber that I'm looking up on Google, they didn't have to create the need in me for their service. I already need their service. So that's one way that Google is entirely different from everything else. Another way to drive traffic is by Facebook advertising or Instagram advertising. The only thing that's different with that is, if I'm on Facebook, usually I'm trying to connect with people. I'm looking at what's going on in the world. I'm not really looking for a plumber, right? So if that plumber is running an ad on Facebook, I'm most likely going to ignore it unless they have a really good deal, right? So that's going to be what's different with Facebook ads and Instagram ads is you need to hook that person from Facebook into your website, and you need to do that with an awesome deal. So those are the tips that I shared with the Escondido Chamber of Commerce. I hope you guys find it, some really good information with that. So again, just to recap, you need to have a product, you need to have a sales process, and you need to have traffic if you want to shift your business to sell online. So that's it, guys. See you soon.